Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about different problems in circle. So before we start solving, let us first remember the steps in formulating equations of the circle. First is you must identify the center, and then second is the radius. How do you identify the center? Know if the center lies at the origin or not in the origin, because they have different equations for that. If you don't know what are the equation, you can just feel free to watch my video, my previous video. Okay, and then the radius. It is essential for us to create the standard equation. Since, okay, we have here our problem. The center is at 5 and -6, and it also states that it should be tangent to the y-axis. Okay, let us not mind the tangent to the y-axis first. Let's focus at the center. Center is at 5 and -6. So it means it is not at the origin, therefore we are going to use this equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Next, okay, again, this is our h, and then this is our k. H represents for the x coordinate and k represents for the y coordinates. Okay, so we will have x minus our h is 5 squared plus y minus -6 squared is equal to, okay, now the question is, we don't know what is our radius, okay, r squared, but we do know that our circle is tangent to the y-axis. So before we are able to find our radius, we need to identify first, or we need to plot first our circle for us to identify our radius. Okay, so let me just simplify first the left-hand side. We will have x minus 5 squared plus y negative times -6. We will have plus 6 squared is equal to r squared. So we just have to find what is our r squared. Let's try to plot.
So this is our Cartesian plane focusing at the fourth quadrant. So our circle, or the center of our circle, is at coordinates 5 and -6. So we will place a dot over there so that we will know where thus our center lies. So it's over here. Okay, it is also stated that the problem that the circle is tangent to the y-axis. When we say tangent, it is a line that crosses the circle at exactly 1 point. From our center up to the y-axis, because again, tangent to the y-axis, we have to determine what are their distances from center to the y-axis. So we have here a distance of 5 units away. Okay, that 5 units away will serve as our radius of the circle. So let's count 5 units away from top, then sa right and sa bottom. Okay, just like that one. And then if you are done, you can simply use your compass to form a circle with the same distance 5 units away. Okay, so as you can see, a line that crosses at the circle at exactly 1 point, that is point -6. Okay. And then center with radius equal to 5. Now let's go back to our equation and formulate a final standard equation of the circle.
Okay, so we have now determined our radius. We can just simply change our r with 5. But take note, that is 5 squared. So 5 squared is equal to 5 times 5, and 5 times 5 is equal to 25. So our final standard equation is x minus 5 then squared plus the quantity of y plus 6 squared is equal to 5 times 5, 25. This is now our final answer to this problem. Another example. Okay, so our center is still the same with coordinates 5 and negative 6. However, the difference is we have here a tangent, a circle that is tangent to x-axis. So, sa kanina example, we have y-axis. Now, the circle is now tangent to x-axis. So again, since our center is not at the origin, we are going to use this equation. Quantity of x minus h squared plus the quantity of y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Okay. Same pa rin yung sa left-hand side. We will have x minus 5 squared plus the quantity of y minus negative 6 squared is equal to r squared. Then x minus 5 squared plus y negative times negative 6 is plus 6 squared is equal to r squared. Again, we are trying to look what is our radius. So before we could actually find what is our radius, we need to plot again the circle. Magkaiba na po yung radius niya kasi, take note, this is now tangent to x-axis. Very different yung radius. Okay, let's try to plot the problem.
Cartesian plane, focusing at the fourth quadrant. So we already know where our center of the circle lies. So it is from coordinates 5 and negative 6. Okay. Now, let's determine what is the distance from our center up to the x-axis, because take note, our center is tangent to the x-axis. All we have to do is just determine the distance from the center up to the x-axis. So we have here distance which is 6 units away from each other. So that is now considered as our radius of the circle. We are again going to create a dot 6 units away from left, right, and bottom. Just like this one. 6 units away. And then after that, once we are done putting dots at the Cartesian plane, we can now use our compass to simply create a circle with the same distances away from its center. Just like this one. Okay. That is now our circle with one line crossing the circle at exactly one point. And that is 0.5. Okay. So, that is what our circle looks like. Ilang units? 6 units away. That is now our radius. Okay, let's go back to our standard equation.
Okay, again, our radius is 6 units away. Simply erase this one. And then replace r with 6. So we will have 6 squared. 6 squared is equal to 6 times 6, and 6 times 6 is equal to 36. So our final answer is the quantity of x minus 5 squared plus quantity of y plus 6 squared is equal to 36. This is now our final answer.